second now.
Unsyndicated presents What the Puck with Sean Baligian.
How are you? He's Mike. I'm Sean. All right, Mike. You know the routine. Now we have to share this.
Yep.
So, you know what? You and I can talk through this together. Quinn Hughes. How about that? Quinn Hughes. Legit? Quinn Hughes, legit? How about that?
Yeah.
Quinn Hughes, legit?
It's
Cool.
everywhere you look, it seems to be where there's smoke, there's got to be fire, right, Sean? It's everywhere.
Wings, West Coast swing. All right, that's good. I'm just talking out loud as I do this stuff. All right, so Sharon now. Good. Now I have to find What the Puck. How are you, by the way, my friend?
I am doing good. I'm sick and tired of the after effects of the flu, but I'm thinking that the sun of Scottsdale, Arizona, is going to burn that right off.
Dude, it is unbelievable. It has been going around something crazy, man. It really has been. It has been. I know so many people that went and like knocked out like you. I mean, seriously, so many people just knocked out. It's crazy.
And it's almost like that second time around. Like I went to bed about 5 o'clock last night. I was just done. I even, and you guys know me, I came home from the casino early. I was done and I was out and I'm like, here we go again. Feeling a little bit better today, but that's how it's been. So it's the aftermath is just as bad.
All right. So I want to get to the quiz. I don't mean to be a stick in the mud, but I'm going to be a stick in the mud and I'm going to do it logically. That doesn't mean it's not going to happen. Okay, let's get that out of the way. Wings, West Coast swing. All right, so Mike, here's my take on the Quinn Hughes thing. Okay, it's no secret that Quinn Hughes was likely going to be jettisoned out of there. He's got one more year left. It makes sense for Jimmy Rutherford and Patrick Alvin to sit back and say, let's do it now. Let's not wait till next year because all we're doing is diminishing the potential return. Okay. With that being said, there are a number of teams in the National Hockey League right now that would make a very concerted effort to get a guy who is literally the poster child of what the NHL has become today, right? Right, you need that puck moving defender and everything. All right. So you hear names like Vegas. And then you think to yourself, boy, wouldn't the Chicago Blackhawks and all the young assets they have, wouldn't they benefit from having a guy like that to get the puck to, say, Connor Bedard? Then, you wonder aloud and you say the Anaheim Mighty Ducks who have a plethora of things to deal with. Then you say the San Jose Sharks. And then you say the Detroit Red Wings. Okay, Mike, I'm going to say it again. The bottom, the barrel isn't empty. Okay, there are a lot of good pieces here. Okay, this hasn't happened as quickly as anybody thought. All that, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of assets here. Okay, and I always say this: if you tell me that you know the way that Steve Yzerman is thinking, that's the first sign to me that you have no clue what you're talking about and you're throwing things against the wall. Because Steve, I had this conversation with Darren McCarty this morning. Steve doesn't let stuff out. He keeps it close to the vest, okay? So, Mike, what are we left to do? What are we left to do? We're left to study Steve Yzerman tendencies, okay? Steve likes his own guys. Steve likes developing his own guys. Steve likes the low and slow, and you and I know a little something about low and slow. Sometimes too low and too slow, okay? What I have yet to see Steve Yzerman do in his time as a general manager is throw a bunch of guys that he's worked on, a bunch of guys that he's had in the system at a premier player to try to get the premier player to come. I have not seen that yet. Again, that doesn't mean it's going to happen. Okay. That doesn't mean that it's not going to happen either. But I have not seen Steve Yzerman do that. I have my doubts. How's that?
I'm right there with you, Sean. I mean, you've got to go out. Everything you just listed and laid out about Steve Yzerman is a perfect pattern of what we're going to see. On top of, I thought when you started with like a Vegas Golden Knights and such, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be a team that this is going to be that golden egg for them. Get 1 year left on a contract. That's a pretty doable kind of contract. You'll give stuff up. That team that's right there and ready. And when you look at the team that's just an absolute menace and dismantling people right now in Colorado and what they have in Cal McCarr, they're going to want to match some kinds of things. So outside of Yzerman's tendencies in Detroit, there's just so much at play that, I mean, hey, we're left to talk about it. It's something to talk about faster so everyone can get past it.
What is interesting to me, Mike, is when I hear people talk about the package, and you know, I always love to play the game. You be the GM, okay? And so when I ask people, I'm going to be Patrick Alvin. Who are you going to offer to me, right? And every deal is woefully short. So let's try to be Patrick Alvin before somebody offers us a package, and we'll get to your comments in just a second, okay? I'm going to start with ASP. I'm probably going to add Casper. I'm probably going to add Danielson. I'm probably going to say, which one of your goaltenders do you want to give up and what kind of draft capital do you want to give up? And honestly, Mike, I don't think that's a far-fetched package to ask, because the reality is, no matter how much Mike Iveso loves ASP, no matter how much Sean Belegian or Kirk Hunter or whoever loves Casper or Kosa or whatever the case may be, do you know what Patrick Alvin's going to turn around and do? Well, that's adorable. You think ASP is going to be really good, all right? I know Quinn Hughes is one of the best in the business. I know right now that at worst, a lot of people would say he's the number 2 defenseman in the National Hockey League. That's going to be the price of doing business in something like this, Mike. It really is.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna take from that team, you're gonna give them at least right back what they're getting, and that's going to be ASP. The only counter to Edvinson, someone with a little bit more NHL experience, not as grandiose, but he's got the experience. But you're going to give up 2 NHL roster prospects like a Casper and a Danielson. And then I do think you're right, Sean. They're going to have to split hairs between, oh, you don't want to give up ASP, you're going to give me Edvinson, you're going to give me Augustine. Oh, you don't want to give me Augustine, you want to give me Kosa? Okay, then we're going to take ASP. You know, it's going to be a give and take like that. And that's where it's going to go. And we're not in the position to do that. On top of, like I said last show, Sean, this guy is not going to stay in Detroit. You're going to get him for a short period of time, and you're going to have to flip him for less than what you just gave.
Yep, that's exactly it. Let me get to some comments. Habs and Avs wear the Nordiques versus Habs sweaters. So cool. Now we just need to see the Jets and Flames with one wearing a Thrashers shirt and one wearing a Flames.
Oh, that's so good.
I think Quinn Hughes to Detroit stuff won't happen unless Yzerman fleeces them, and I think Vancouver is using it as a propaganda bargaining chip because the Devils are going to offer them peanuts. Jason says, hello, friends. Hello, Jason. We might have some news for you about the Escanaba Eskimos real soon, by the way. Mike, we can't say anything, but we might have some news about the Escanaba Eskimos. How's that? Is that cool?
I like it. I like it.
Are the Avs ever gonna lose again, by the way?
You know, I thought they had it last night, and then Makar scores with like a second left or something. It's just incredible. I know you watch a lot more than me, but watching that team, I mean, they get first touches, puck retrieval right now. At some point, you think they've got to take the foot off the gas a little bit. They've got to know what they got to save themselves, because a lot of their guys are also going to be going, well, maybe it's not going to be overseas for the Olympics, but they're going to be playing in the Olympics. So they've got to pump the brakes here.
Was it you and I that had the conversation about Team Canada's goaltending? Was that you and I that had that conversation? Okay. I don't think we had that conversation here, did we? Did we have that conversation on the show?
It was very brief when we were talking about your boy over there in Colorado, and I said, at what point is he going to steal the number one spot for Team Canada?
Yep. That's exactly it. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Us Michigan fans want to talk about Michigan being number one in hockey ratings for the second week in a row. Well played, Jason. Bob Buffet. Hey, Sean, Mark wants to know if you have any free pizza. You know what? We probably do. And if you are ever up here, I will make sure, Mr. Buffet, that you get a free pizza. How's that? I will make sure. I guarantee you I will make sure that you get a free pizza. Is that cool?
Sean, I've got to say, free pizza, I've got no idea what he's talking about. I'm washing my hands of that one because there may be some people watching. Free pizza, what? That's $12.39 for that special. Is that what the price was, or $12.89?
It was no. You know what? You almost got it right. It was $12.05. Do you remember 12? I'll never forget that number as long as I live, Mike. $12.05. If you guys only knew, Mr. Buffet, you open up a can of worms, but we can't go there. Hold on just a second. Let me see. What would you be willing to give for Hughes, knowing the Wings would have him for a year and a half, basically? Now, hold on. Hold that thought for just a second. Would they? Think about it from his standpoint, okay? He played here in the USHL with the USNTDP. Loved the area. Stayed in the area for the University of Michigan. The one thing I can tell you definitively after doing broadcasts for the Whalers and broadcasts for the NTDP, it is amazing how many of these guys come to this area, fall in love with this area, and either here or come back quite often and visit, okay? He can, after July 1st, he can talk about an extension on said contract on July 1st. Who's to say the Red Wings couldn't extend him? Who's to say that anybody couldn't extend him? And that's why the Canucks want to move now. Because take a look at what happened with Rantanen last year. I think that Rantanen's a great case for this. They didn't get the full package that they were going to get, Mike. Let's be honest. They didn't get the full package that they were going to get. And Dallas was smart, made the move, didn't have to give a full package, and, oh, by the way, also locked him up full time.
Yeah. I mean, but again, I still just I hear it. I hear everything. I don't. Again, we've said it before. Detroit's just not that spot to be signing. I don't see it. I don't think anybody except for Yzerman sees the future in this organization right now.
Yep, that's exactly it. Hold on a second. Let me scroll down. Okay, you got Mr. Buffet. I know you're down in Florida. You're ever back up here. Pizza's on me, I swear. Don't give up Casper if they do anything this year. Everything that you say you don't want to give up is what they're going to ask. You guys know that, right? Like you guys know that, right? That's why let's get it out of the way right now. No, you're not going to get everybody, but Mike, who would you ask for, right? Those are the guys that, we've got a pretty good gauge, and, maybe their scouts think something different about this guy or that guy, but literally any guy that you want to hold on to, you can be sure that they're going to ask for a package with that name on it, or at least a similar name. How's that?
Yeah. Yep. That's exactly what it's going to be. You hit it right on the head, Sean.
Yep. And now I'm on pins and needles. They just won last night, no T versus Houghton, if I'm recalling correctly. Did they beat Houghton last night, Mike? Do you remember?
I don't. I did not have that one come up, but you go ahead and I will give you an answer in about 5 seconds.
Okay. Sean, what are your thoughts on the Habs calling up Fowler? I was going to tie this into the Wings as well. Montum blows. You know that. I've said that for a while. Hold on a second. As I told you, I got 800 things going on right now. You got to remember, as much as I like Jakub Dobish, when you're playing a guy that many times in a row and that many minutes, you're going to see the numbers go down. Okay. Montembeault's, obviously there's something wrong with him right now. If you remember, he was gone and then he was sick and then they worked with him extra at practice. I don't have any problem with calling up Fowler right now. None, zero, zilch. I don't think he's the total answer. I think they've been really bad in their own zone, Mike. I really do. It's frightening to me how bad they've been. Can he help out? Absolutely. Look, Dabish has had to stand on top of his head a few times too. Make no mistake about that. And I think right now they're devoid of a number two. I don't even think Montembeault is in a position to be a number two right now. There's clearly something wrong with him. I don't know what it is. I don't want to speculate. There's something wrong with him right now. And Mike, it begs the question, all right, if the Habs can throw their guy who, has been playing well in the AHL, are the Wings going to give a thought to pull their guy who is playing extremely well in the AHL? And I think that's a fair question to ask.
It's a very fair question that I wish I had the answer to. And we've been talking about Steve Yzerman and his tendencies. If we go by just that kind of conversation, Sean, no, they're not going to pull Kosa up. They never have. And before in the past, maybe you could say they didn't think he was ready. He wasn't playing the greatest. He had some flashes here or there, but he was even up here and they never played the guy unless he had to go in for relief. It just, again, it's one of those mysteries that at the end of it all, I would love to be a fly on the wall to find out why he never got his chance. And so I've got to stick with, I can't see them doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, because we know this organization loves a good streak and will do anything to keep a streak alive, right, Sean? Grand Rapids has got a nice little streak going. You can't pull Kosa up now because they might lose that streak.
I'm hoping Kane gets 500 in Chicago. Well, wouldn't that be interesting, right? That would be interesting. That'd be very interesting. No doubt about that. Are we forgetting Hughes played with Larkin? How about a Fresca? Quinny? Yeah, that would be. Now, wasn't I think they weren't there at the same time, right? They weren't at Michigan at the same time. Larkin was gone before Quinn, right? You can fact check me.
Yeah, you can fact check that. If they played together, would it have been in the U.S. program?
It would have been with the U.S., but not at Michigan. So I don't know if Jason's making that, but at Michigan they missed each other. They missed each other at Michigan, right?
Right.
Go ahead.
And just real quick on what I was checking on, they beat Escanaba last night 6-4. Escanaba beat Hancock 6-5.
Interesting.
That's that UP.
You know what's interesting? Bob, I watched Tampa last night, and they were way overdue for a get right game. And boy, did they have the get right game last night, Mike. Did you happen to see that? That wasn't very fun for a Habs fan to watch.
No, and it was one of those games watching it. The puck just wouldn't hit one of the Montreal goalies if their life depended on it that night. That was bad.
No doubt about that. The formula for Red Wings success, I've been calling grandpa goals. We know a DBC, Razor, Larkinar. We know the rookies are going to fluctuate. When the grandpas comp for JVR score, we win. Boy, he was on a heater, wasn't he? Van Riemsdyk? He was on a little bit of a heater, right?
Yeah, he's been scoring, and that's that secondary scoring you need. But there's just such a drop off, Sean. I mean, again, these are all nice pieces. We've said it from the point that these got signed, whether it was this summer, 2 summers ago. Those guys would be nice complements on fourth lines or possibly third lines of teams that are ready to win right now. Not on this team.
Yep. By the way, when it comes time to getting yourself a house, whether you're buying or selling or both, you need to contact the right agent. Who do we recommend? We recommend Lindsay Broadwell. Your house is probably the biggest investment you'll ever make, and that's why you need a pro. Lindsay grew up on the mean streets of Northville and has expanded her team all over Southeast Michigan. She's an expert in all facets of the business. So when it's time to move, our friend Lindsay and her team will make sure you get the most out of your house and everything goes smoothly when finding your new home. Buyer, seller, even first-time buyer. Just make sure you contact Lindsay at BroadwellHomes.com. She'll help you with everything from start to close. Licensed realtor at Real Broker LLC. Start your search today at BroadwellHomes.com. I knew it was one of those teams on one side of the bridge. Yeah, they obviously Team USA stuff, right? But yeah, they missed each other. They missed each other at Michigan because his last year with the NTDP was the draft year where I was screaming, somebody has to pick Matthew Tkachuk or Brady Tkachuk or Quinn Hughes early. And if you remember, the Wings didn't have the opportunity to get Brady. He went to Ottawa. The Habs took Coco. The Wings took Veleno, and then Quinn Hughes went after that. And I you pull hair out of your head. Mike, I saw the guy play. So that was what? 16, 17, and then he went to Michigan. So, yeah, I know they probably did some Team USA stuff, right? They probably did some Team USA together.
I think you got it on that.
Mike, who are you looking at right now in the Eastern Conference? Because all of a sudden things don't look so clear in the Eastern Conference. Tampa was hot for a while, and then they kind of faltered. Obviously, injury had part of it. Tampa, they're not going away. The other side, I can't figure that out. Washington is doing Washington things again. Is there somebody that's jumping out to you?
Just from watching I go the last week or two, I really like what I'm seeing out of Carolina. I mean, they've got a kid in net right now, played really well last night. Someone mentioned him in the chat room. They've got to get that right? I mean, it's not going to be Freddie Anderson. I really like them. But outside of that, Sean, I mean, it was Tampa blowing me up. Like I sold them down the river early. If you remember, I said they were washed. Washington doing wash, but Carolina outside of the net, Sean, and Slavin's still hurt. That team just sticks out to me. But in the end, it's going to be Freddie Anderson in net, and that scares the death out of me.
It's the same routine for years now, Mike.
Yeah.
It's absolutely amazing to me why they can't get that goalie. And it's not for lack of trying. I know that they've drafted guys. Obviously, right now, Brandon Bussey is playing really well. I mean, I don't know how long, a guy like that can last at 27 years old, et cetera, et cetera. Hey, sometimes guys find themselves. Scott Wedgwood obviously found himself, but I'm with you. I think at the end of the day, I think when the playoffs start, I think it's going to be Freddie Anderson. I really do.
Yeah, it is. I mean, if there's anything really that every time I look at the East, I look at the teams that are not in the playoffs right now, with Montreal, Toronto, and Florida being three teams that will be in the playoffs, and then picking teams off that, who's not going to make it if those three are going to make it. And that's that. But those three will be in the playoffs.
Yeah. I think so. All right, Mike, anything else that you want to hit on? I want to go watch the Wings game because I'm going to tell you point blank, I'm going to fall asleep. So I'm even with an 8:30 start, I'm going to fall asleep. Like the misery today, Mr. Buffet, you'll be really happy about this. We had one of those wet snows today that it was the most impossible to snow blow. It really truly was. To Mike, I had to pull out the point, and I had to shovel a whole bunch because it got heavy in certain spots. And honest to goodness, man, I'm 55 years old now. Okay. Mike, I'm shot. I'm not joking. I am literally shot from that right now.
I give you credit because I did one swipe with a shovel and I said, there's absolutely no way. You know how much sidewalk and how much driveway I have on my lot. No way. I put through an hour of work because that's how much time it takes with the snowblower with that wet snow. You got to unjam it every 5 seconds. But I was not going to shovel, so I give you nothing but credit.
Can I bring up something and you're going to laugh at me because I've liked these guys, okay? Do you know who's doing this right now? Do you know who's doing this right now? The Dallas Stars.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Don't tell anybody. Don't say anything. Yep. And I know I've fallen for it the last couple of years. I openly admit it in the West. I have. While I've stayed true to Florida, the playoff tenacity, all those things, okay? I have completely fallen for the Dallas Stars 2 years in a row. Mike, you rightfully mocked me last year for falling for it again. And I'm telling you right now, what's today's date? December 10th?
Yeah.
I think I'm falling again.
You're falling again. Yeah, I can see it in your eyes. I can see it.
I really, I think I'm falling for the Dallas Stars.
And the thing with it is that it is very sad that Taylor Sagan's out for the year. We don't want to see anyone get hurt, that injury. But what does that? Oh, they're going to be bringing people in. The only thing what is going on with Rantanen? He is in the middle of crap every game doing something stupid.
It really is weird. Winning the President's Trophy, kiss of death. There's no doubt about that. That's been that way. Nuge, you're a young dude. Oh, gosh. My body doesn't feel it right now.
The world's nicest human, Nuge. That's exactly what I would expect Nuge to say.
Do you, Mike, like the snowblower got so packed with ice, I had to go put it in like the garage to thaw out because it turned into ice. So I had to pick up the shovel, and I'm like, oh my gosh, shoveling never hurt like this. It's unbelievable. Yeah, hey, let me tell you all about catering. All About Catering LLC, full service caterer, graduations, weddings, bridal showers, corporate events, everything you need catering for, from 25 to 4,000 people. All About Catering can and will take care of you. Customer service and satisfaction is their number one goal. Rick and his staff are going to take care of you. They've taken care of me and my family for many, many years. So do not sweat your next big event. Just go to allaboutcateringllc.com today to see all their menus and their 5-star reviews. Give them a call, 586-731-1398 to get your event started. Mike, I'm going to miss you this weekend. You're going down to sunny Scottsdale. Safe travels. Have a blast down there. Yep. I'm going to be out at Eddie Edgar for a while, and then on the State Champs Network with Score, where we're going to recap everything that happened at the MIHL KLAA Showcase, highlight a bunch of stuff. And then next week, Mike, next Wednesday, you and I are going to be back out in Brighton. What a dandy we'll have, Brighton and Howell. Huh?
Yeah, that's going to be a good one. We did that one a couple of years ago, if you remember.
Yes,
a fella that we know made a very grand what's the word? Projection of what was going to prediction of what was going to happen in that game, and he couldn't have been more wrong. He might be right this time if he were to make the same comment. But again, this is one of those, Sean. These Howell kids and Brighton kids all grew up playing at, I'm not calling it Big B, the KVHA in Heartland. And these kids do not like each other at all. They've been playing against each other, fighting each other. This is one of these rivalries that is just a pleasure to be there, to watch it, and to call it's an honor.
No doubt about that. Kyle said, thank you, Sean, for saying the cost for Hughes is too much. Everyone wants to give away half the wings for the guy. It is not Steve Yzerman. That's all I'll say. It is not that again, anybody who tells you they know what Steve Yzerman's going to do is lying. Okay. That he keeps his cards closer to the vest than anybody else. So in case you missed it earlier, what you have to do is look at all his moves. Okay. He doesn't make moves like this. His own, the guys that he and his staff scout that he wants to be in the past, Tampa Lightning, or now Detroit Red Wings, he puts way too much value into them. He does. I do not see him giving a huge package to the Vancouver Canucks, even for the likes of Quinn Hughes. When is your next live chat? We do one. Mark's usually in here, Bob. I'm surprised, or Mr. Buffet. Mark's usually in here. He's in here a lot. We had him on as a guest one time. I don't know if you remember that. But next Monday, we have the live chat. And then Tuesday. And then, Mike, you and I are probably going to do the hockey show next Thursday, right?
Yep.
Because we have a hockey game Wednesday.
Yep.
So there you go. I do one with Matt Shepard, longtime media personality, former voice of the Detroit Tigers, on Monday. And then I go solo on Tuesday. And then I do a hockey show with my pal Mike. What are your thoughts on the Olympic arena? Any chance the players pull out? I hope not. Gosh, don't break my heart like that. Don't break my heart like that. Mr. Buffet was an Olympian, by the way, a kid that played on the Olympic team.
Now, what's the regulation on that? Can they hold that tournament here in North America while the Olympics are overseas?
Wouldn't that be unbelievable?
I mean, again, it's just talking heads, but it's something that's floating around on that internet thing, the Google.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, Mike, safe travels to you. I'm sure I'll talk to you when you get back. Thanks to you guys as well. Check me in the morning with Woodward. God bless you. See you later, and let me hit end stream. Bye.
What the Puck with Sean Baligian. Executive produced by Sean Baligian and Todd Losey. Theme song, incidental music, and related sound effects are from Always Pushing Forward by Elliot Middleton. Engineering, mixing, and graphic design support provided by the Unsyndicated Podcast team. Don't forget to like and subscribe on all your favorite channels. While you're there, be sure to rate and review the podcast. Got something to say to Sean? Call the Unsyndicated hotline at 248-237-3257.